Namaste and welcome to this episode of the Thursday Thoughts. Last Saturday and Sunday, we had the finals of the ladies and the gentlemen's US Open Tennis Championship. And we have got, as you all know, a pair of champions for the last Grand Slam of the year, that is the US Open in tennis. As you all know, Arina Sabalenka became the ladies champion by defeating Amanda Anisimova. And in the much awaited, much expected gents final between the number one seed and number two seed, namely Yannick Sinner and the number two seed Carlos Alcaraz of Spain, Yannick Sinner of Italy. There was much expected final. Everybody was betting for a great final. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out to be like that. I had the privilege of watching both the finals. And let us just see some patterns, if at all there is any pattern between the both finals as well as some finals in the recent history, in the history of tennis, in lawn tennis. That is, as you all know, the US Tennis Association, USTA, holds this New York. And let us see the ladies' final. It was Arina Sabalenka, who was. I had seen her in the recent past. Even I'm sure you would have watched her. She is a bunch of nerves, yeah, when it comes to the important point. Even in the finals this time around on the Saturday evening, for us, that is. She dropped one easy shot, which was the match point for her. And it was an easy lob. She could have lobbed it anywhere for Anisimova to just give it up. But she put it in the net. So, I mean, there is still a lot of nerves in Sabalenka, Arina Sabalenka, if you ask me, though she has done something which not many people could do in the history of the ladies circuit in the lawn tennis. She has defended her 2024 US Open title. I mean, that is really a fantastic job, which, I mean, it took almost some time for Serena Williams way back in 13, I think 2013, 14 and 15, she had done a hat trick. 3 years consecutively she had won. And if you would have watched the presentation ceremony of the US Open ladies final, Chris Savage-Lloyd, yeah, that great tennis star of yesteryears. She did it four times in a row consecutively in the year 1975, 76, 77, and 78. Chris Savage-Lloyd had total 6 US titles, of which 4 were in one shot, like consecutively. So she was there in the presentation ceremony to hand over the trophy to Arina Sabalenka. And Arina Sabalenka, in spite of but when it comes to the crunch time, she appeared to me like she may crumble. I was thinking she's very difficult to have or develop steel nerves. But I came to know later when I saw the reports after 1 or 2 days or so. She had credited a book. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you about this book because in whatever area, in whatever walk of life you are in, it is all in the mind. So there was a book that she read. It is less than 300 rupees if you want to get it in India. And even I think around 15 or 20 pounds when it comes to when she bought it. Looks like she was holidaying after her very, very disturbing finals in the Wimbledon. And she read this book, Into the Magic Shop by Do T. This is a fantastic book, I am told, and it tells you about What is there for you to be worried? You may lose, fine, doesn't matter. Everybody, you cannot remain a champion every time, but you develop an attitude that I couldn't care less. That is what is so very important when you are facing a very big or huge challenge. You just cool your mind and tell that nothing doing here. I'm not going to unnecessarily sweat it out and through my mind. I mean, you have to sweat it out physically, no doubt in that. So that's a great book, I'm told. So if you can lay your hands, kindly read this book. It will give you a lot of insights how you control your brain and how you can um, go into the mysteries of the brain as well as to the emotions of your heart. So this is what a very important book, and I think she displayed it to some extent after in the afterthought. I am thinking. So kudos to Arina Sabalenka for defending her 2024 US Open title, and now she's two times she has won it. And we have discussed about Chris Evert Lloyd, who won it four times consecutively from 1975 to 78, and of course later on Serena Williams winning it 2013, 14, and 15. And coming to the gents final, we see the number one seed Yannick Sinner, to me, is slightly an introvert, and rightfully so. I mean, I don't like people to boast around. Unlike Carlos Alcaraz, who was from the first game onwards, I'm playing great tennis and all. I was thinking, is it really allowed? Can you psych your opponents before going to the match? Before you, I mean, the previous match, you win and tell that I'm playing my greatest tennis in my life. But I read somewhere that it was he was asked not to do it so magnifyingly. But anyway, he was so confident in the finals. He went on to win with just one drop of a set. The second set he dropped, and 6-3, if I'm not wrong, 6-2 he won the first set, 3-6 second set, 6-1 the third set, and 6-4 the fourth set. So it was, to me, a one-sided final. Sinner told that, okay, in the post-match conference, she told, I think there is nothing that Alcaraz had a weakness. I tend not to believe in this. Everybody has got weakness, but on that particular day, probably Alcaraz obviously was playing much better. And you know what? Since 2008, none in the men's circuit, you would have seen it in the WhatsApp groups. Since 2008, none in the men's circuit has been able to repeat the US Open title. That means nobody had ever defended his title. It was every year somebody else picking up the title. Even we had the greats like Djokovic, we had the greats like Nadal. It was, I was thinking about it, it was from 2004 to 2008, 5 times the one and only FedEx, that is Roger Federer, who had won it 5 times the US Open title. And after 2008, nobody has been able to defend his title the next year. So let us see what happens next. So these are some of the patterns, and one very important pattern I would like all of you to pay attention to. I am surprised not many people have talked about it. If you see the careers of both Arina Sabalenka and Carlos Alcaraz, there is one thing common. You know what it is? They share the birthday. Oh, that's really fantastic. The 5th of May, we had Roger Federer, 8th of August, 8-8. And now we have Arina Sabalenka, 5th of May, 1998, and Carlos Alcaraz, 5th of May, 2003. So after, say, 5 years of Arina Sabalenka's birth. On the same day, Carlos Alcaraz was born. So they'll be wishing each other happy birthday on the same day, that is 5th May. Just a trivia that I could notice from their Wikipedia. So that's it for all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and sports enthusiasts. Keep playing, and it's a mind game always. Whatever game you are into, keep your brain in the best possible condition so that you don't lose it before you actually physically lose the match or lose the particular day's task. Keep going, keep your brain sharp and always focused on the task on hand. God bless. Take care. Bye bye. Till we meet next time. Take care. So long.